Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
See, no one has balls. No one has the balls to say the real deal.
Black word today.
Yes, y'all, it's the one and only. Get up.
You are born.
Hello, everybody.
Let's do this.
Black word today.
All right. Yeah. Yes. What's going on, people? How y'all doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to Black Word Today. Glad you could join me for this Friday edition of Black Word Today. What's going on, Periscope? What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Facebook? Hope you're feeling all right. Hope you're good. Oh, man, so we got some stuff we got to get to, but first I want to make an announcement. Is anybody going to be in Portland, Oregon or nearabouts? Because I'm going to be there this weekend. Well, next weekend. Next weekend I'm going to be there because I'll be performing some stand-up comedy with my man Lee Camp and Chris Mohan. So if you're in the area, come hang out with your boy. Also, week after that, I'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah. Once again with Lee Camp and Chris Mohan doing some comedy, so just come on out. We did Richmond, we did Philly, now we're in Salt Lake City and Oregon, and it's going on. And if you got suggestions to where we should go, just go to leecamp.net. And he'll take, he does a poll to see where we go perform. So it's real cool, man, that I get to experience this new chapter in my life doing stand-up comedy. Oh, man. So we got a lot going on today. I want to talk about Hollywood, gender gap in pay. Tracy Ellis Ross. She's got some complaints. Also, we have the rich keep getting richer. People don't understand why. I think we're going to talk about that a little bit. Got to get that. But our most pressing news of the day. See, no one has balls. No one has the balls to say the real deal. It's obviously, guys, is the potential or what looks like to be almost a certain government shutdown. Now, look, I'm not certain if this is going to happen, but it's almost certain. It appears that way. Government shutdown likelihood grows amid Senate standoff. Just hours ahead of midnight deadline to fund the government, a high-stakes standoff in the Senate is making the prospects of a government shutdown even more likely. The Senate convened Friday without a clear path forward on how to fund the government, with Democrats demanding more progress on the deal for DACA, deferred action on childhood arrivals, while some Republicans, frustrated with the spate of month-long spending bills, are likely to block the current proposal on the table, which would keep the government running for another 4 weeks. In the midday development, President Trump invited Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to the White House for a meeting. Afterwards, Schumer indicated there was no deal yet. We had a long and detailed meeting. We discussed all of the major outstanding issues. We made some progress, but we still have a good number of disagreements. The discussions will continue, said Chuck Schumer. Friday afternoon, Trump tweeted about the meeting. When the day began, the president signaled that a shutdown was possible. Government funding bill passed last night in the House of Representatives. Now Democrats are needed if it is to pass in the Senate. And we know it did pass in the Senate. Put it this way. They want illegal immigration. That's what he says. So this is a Donald Trump tweet, so let me not interject on the tweet. Let's get through the tweet, then I'll tell you what I think. Government funding bill passed last night in the House of Representatives. Now Democrats are needing it to pass in the Senate, but they want illegal immigration in weak harbors or borders. He tweeted that. Shutdown coming, and he put a question mark We need more Republican victories in 2018. So that's what this battle is about, the budget. Democrats want DACA in. Trump said no. They can't come to agreement on how the DACA, if the DACA can go in. And the terms, it's just the terms of the budget that they're fighting over. Also, is Trump still trying to put the wall in this bill? Do tell. House Whip Steve Scalise's office told members to remain flexible in case the Senate passes a spending bill that differs from the House version. The House would need to pass it before it could go to the president's desk for a signature. All right, so Mitch McConnell does not have the votes to pass the spending bill that would fund the government until February 15th, extend the low-income children's health insurance program, you guys know that is CHIPS, for 6 years, and suspend some Obamacare taxes for 2 years. McConnell's office said the GOP leader was coordinating with the White House on all developments, including Schumer's White House meeting. So it's at a standoff, people. This government shutdown is at a standoff, and we are, I've been looking at it all week, basically. And I think some people don't understand what the shutdown entails. So let me first tell you, explain what will happen if there is a shutdown, okay? So we can take the mystery out of this, okay? Social Security will not be touched. You still get your Social Security payments. That is automatic, all right? Military. The active duty military will remain on the job. Military operations, unfortunately, military operations like in Afghanistan will continue, but training missions may be curtailed. So when they say, oh, no, this is going to hurt our military, what they mean is they won't be holding training, they won't be holding as many training exercises. Mail delivery will not be impacted. Mail system runs on autopilot and has its own funds, should I say. All right. Travel. Air traffic controllers, transportation or TSA workers, and customs and border protection agents remain on the job, and travel will be mostly unaffected. National parks, unlike in the past, they will not close down this time. Who's going to parks? I want to know these people are going to parks in January. Who's doing it? Who's hanging at the park? Legislation. Congress will continue to operate as they work to end the shutdown, although the Capitol may be open to tours. Fear not, lawmakers will continue to receive their pay, although some lower-level staffers may not. We'll come back to that in a minute. Goodness gracious. Federal agencies, most federal agencies will be closed, like the Department of Education, the EPA, and the IRS, although some of their essential functions will continue. So IRS, what? The IRS going to close? Most federal agencies would be closed, like the Department of Education, the EPA, and the IRS. Oh, well, there is a bright side in all of this. Look, I did an earlier broadcast for Coffee with Tim Black. It posted on YouTube, but it didn't play on Facebook for whatever reason. And in it, I made a mistake. I said I thought IRS was going to be open. But no, the IRS is closing. But yeah, they'll still keep track of what we owe them, though. They're gonna make sure that computer system is running correctly, though. I know that. They may not be in there, but they're going to make... So the people that really get hurt by government furloughs are government workers, right? Because they get furloughed, and when you're furloughed, you don't get paid, right? Right. So that's who gets hurt by this. And if you hurt government workers, what are they unable to do? Well, besides they become unable to pay their mortgages. Besides, they become unable to keep their cars running. They also can't buy a lot of stuff. Now, hard to buy stuff, spend money if you're not making money. So, yeah, it's not a good look for workers. But, and as I did a rant earlier, and in that rant, I told him, I said, look, we elect Congress. We select our congressmen and women to go do a job for us. When you have this type of issue where it seems like Congress can't get the job done, well, wouldn't it be fair to say, why don't y'all just come on home and we just put some new people in the jobs? I mean, Let's have some backup players. Shouldn't we be able to go to another string, like second string or third string? Maybe we can get the water boy out there to play. I mean, since, obviously, you guys can't seem to get the job done. You can't work together. And then it's funny how they act like they're at each other's throats, but we know they hang out and kick it with one another. Y'all friends. Stop trying to make this fantasy world where you're good versus evil. It's not true. You guys hang out with each other. You know each other. Most of you came up with each other in this system. Hanging out. Now they want to act like they're at each other's throats. I stand by it. I believe they're there for big money interests. They're there for their donors because in our corrupt system, you got to spend a lot of money to run. It's not all their fault, but it's their fault to a large degree because you got to have some ethics. And at the end of the day, the bottom line is this: if we send you to Washington to do a job, and you do not do the job, we should be able to say you're fired. What? How many of you can keep your job if you didn't do your job? What if I just can't get it done? I can't get the job done. Well, guess I got to get somebody that can. Nobody take pity on you if you couldn't get your job done. Their job is to govern. They're unable to govern. So we get some other people in there. They couldn't do any worse, right? It's already ineffective. How much worse could they do? Your boy Tim Black could go up in there and do what they're doing. Be unsuccessful. Come on. All right. There's another couple of things about the government shutdown. I want to talk about. Here we go. I want to give people a little bit of historical context. Historical context about government shutdowns because I don't want people acting like, oh my God, is the government going to shut down? What's going to happen? Is it the apocalypse? Is it the Walking Dead? Or are they going to come out of the rafters? But before I do that, today is National Popcorn Day. So as I watch them talk this ish about how the world's going to hell in a handbasket, all because Chuck Schumer can't talk to Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan can't talk to Nancy Pelosi. I'm just drinking. I'm just sitting here eating me some popcorn. I'm just chilling. Because, see, I know this ain't the first time we had a government shutdown. In fact, we done had 18 different government shutdowns in our history. We had one recently as 2013 under Obama. And you know what happened? Nothing. But y'all keep on being worried about, oh man, the world coming to an end. It's Walking Dead. We're gonna have zombies. We're gonna have a bunch of zombies out there. That's what's gonna happen. People gonna be breaking in your house. Dogs gonna start meowing and cats gonna start barking. Birds gonna start swimming. Fish start flying. I don't think so. Get up for that. The reality of it is they just want us to tune into their shows and be worried, be on the edge of our seat like we watching a drama, a sci-fi flick. It's all about ratings, guys. When we going to realize that? Just a little bit more. Okay, let me get a little bit more context on it. Okay, a government shutdown occurs when Congress and the president fail to pass appropriations. That's allocation of money. Legislation funding government operations and agencies. In this case, the current interpretation of the Anti-Deficiency Act requires that the federal government begin a shutdown of the affected activities involving the furlough of non-essential personnel and curtailment. That means, you know what it means. Curtailing, shutting it down of agency activities and services. Since 1976, when the current budget and appropriations process was enacted, there have been 18 gaps in budget funding, 8 of which led to federal employees being furloughed. So out of 18 shutdowns, only 8 of them required employees not to show up for work. So I'm hoping, because a lot of the people in my community, the people in the Tim Black Wolfpack, in Team Black, which is you guys who watch Tim Black, you guys are automatically a part of Team Black. So give it up for that. As you guys.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
I hope a lot of you, I know some of you work for government in certain capacities. And I want to, I'm pulling for you, because I know that no one needs less money, not in 2018. We need all the money we can get. So I'm with you. I support you. So that's what I have on that. Now, since we're talking about money, let's jump right on over to this thing with these Trump people, man. The Trump people are mad at me. Yeah, they mad at me because, see, first, I was talking a lot of smack about the Democratic Party. And I have to, because the Democratic Party, frankly, be up to some garbage. So it's my job to call them out. But see, they got comfortable and they didn't know I would also call out Republicans. See, they thought I was like, I don't know, the Trump stump girls or something. Because I'm black, they thought I was like that, or they thought I was like Larry Elder. No, motherfucker. No. I call out Republicans too. I was just busy at the time calling out Democrats because I was still pissed off about the 2016 election where they stole it from Bernie Sanders. Big difference. See, a lot of the Trump supporters are under this. They got this weird idea in their head that Trump gonna fight for poor people. They keep thinking that. Thinking it, even when all evidence tells them contrary, that he's not. All right? So as Trump is tweeting out about how much money, how great the stock market is doing, he's leaving out a lot of important facts, such as poor people don't have a lot of stocks. So who actually is winning in the age of Trump? Let's get to that. Now, when Trump talks about, and he loves talking about how much he's doing for America, he doesn't tell you that the America he's talking about are really rich people. And he loves talking about all the jobs he's brought here. Okay? Job growth. Here goes the chart of job growth. This is not what Trump refers to. He talks about stocks. Once again, most moderate income people, most poor people, they don't buy a bunch of stocks. They don't have a lot of stocks. If they have any stocks, it's through their job, through a mutual fund or something. They don't own a lot of stocks. And no, crypto ain't stocks. They ain't the same thing. All right? Job creation. He talks about job creation. He keeps saying, I'm bringing jobs back. Listen here. Look at this chart. Since 2011, that's where we are. Trump's job growth, you look at the chart. Look at that chart. Look at the prescription. Since 2011, we are right where we were. We're actually below where we were in 2011. Number of jobs in thousands. All right? There you go. You see it. I didn't create it. It's from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Okay? Not enough for you? Well, hey, Tim, we don't trust the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. What about, since these are Trump supporters we're talking about, what about Fox News? Because, everything, we keep saying fake news, and Trump the only place he ever tweets out and says is you could trust is Fox News. So here's what Fox News says. The average monthly number of jobs gained by year. All right, here we go. Notice we were on an uptick under Obama. All right, notice that. 174, 179, 192, 250, 226, a little dip, 187 and 216, okay, 171. So we went up, we went down, okay? And look, here's the thing, guys. I'm not saying it's all Trump's fault. I'm just saying keep it real. That's all.
Coffee.
Wrong button.
Let me just say I am reserving judgment until all the facts come out.
That's all I'm trying to say. I'm saying keep it real with the people and let them know actually what's going on. But see, that will require people to be transparent, ethical and not to spend propaganda. And these same numbers that I'm showing you, they're not hidden. I don't know who else you may watch. And look, I'm not one of those people who say, don't watch anybody else, only watch me. I'm not one of those people. Look, man, we got like how many channels on that cable? Hundreds of channels. Why should I say only watch me? I think anybody who says that is an egomaniac. I'm the only one good for you. It's me. Now, there's other people for other reasons you watch them. But what I'm saying, when it comes to job performance, when it comes to what Trump is actually getting done for us, because you know, they said, black people, what you got to lose? Look like we got jobs to lose. And I'm not saying it. The numbers are saying it. And I'm not saying it's all Trump's fault. But once again, what I'm saying is keep it real. So when people report on this stuff and they leave out the fact, unemployment numbers, so you tell me, my whole premise was these jobs numbers look fake. These employment numbers look fake because I know too many people looking for jobs. How you going to tell me we're at record lows for jobs? And Trump singled out black people, said, black people, record low. Okay, if that's the case, why are the job numbers overall worse if actually there are less people unemployed? Get what I'm saying, guys? This is not rocket science. If there are less people getting jobs, you see the job numbers, how can unemployment be at a lower rate? Okay? Because that's what Trump is saying. My theory is, and it has been since Obama, when I started detecting the trick, okay? After you've been unemployed for a certain amount of time, once you are no longer receiving unemployment benefits, you are no longer counted. That's why the unemployment numbers look good. But it's not because a lot of jobs are being created. I just showed you the graph from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and I just showed you Fox News telling the truth. This is reality. Just because you don't like reality doesn't change reality. Right? It just doesn't. Now, why does this keep happening? Why does it keep happening that the poor get poor and the rich get richer? Well, I ran across a great article. Now, this article is from Bloomberg. Okay? It's from Bloomberg. And it asks a very simple question. How the top 1%, or it answers a very important question. How the top 1% keep getting richer. So I saw this article. I said, man, I have to look at this. This got to be great. I need to know that too. Listen, equity in stock is the riskiest type. Oh, here we go. Why are people like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg so incredibly rich? Sure, they're great business people, and they had the right ideas at the right time, but most importantly, when the businesses succeeded, they owned a large portion of equity. Equity. That's what it is. Rich get richer because they do not buy electronics and cars. Even if they do buy electronics and cars, the majority of their money does not go in the bank. It goes in the stock. And in order to put your money in stock, you have to have enough money that if you lose it, you're not going to be thrown out on the street. So rich people can take the risk because it is riskier. Listen, equity in stock is the riskiest type of asset ownership. It is the most volatile and is the first to get wiped out when a company goes bankrupt. But it also has unlimited upside. The gains can, and in theory, be infinite. It's the entire upper tail. So, of course, the largest fortunes that we see, the richest individuals, were made through equity ownership. This is the reality. Equity ownership. See, this is why I have so much beef with shows like Shark Tank, shows like The Prophet. And don't get me wrong, I watch those shows. I like shows about business. I like shows that I can get a nugget here, nugget there, information that may actually benefit my life. Okay? That's just me. I know I got to read books. I know I have to do my research. But I enjoy watching some of the ideas that people come up with and watching some operations that people have. But I know nothing beats a class. Nothing beats an actual mentorship. Okay? Mentorship. Okay? But when I watch shows like that and I see Mark Cuban, O'Leary, Damon, when I see them taking 30% of someone's business, when I watch the prophet take 30, 40, 50% of someone's business, that's the equity. That's the most important part of your business, not your furnishings. So if you win, he win. And he's invested, or they've invested in so many companies that they just keep winning. That's what does it. What else in this article that I wanted to share? Here it is. Why has wealth become so concentrated at the top? One reason is certainly that income inequality has increased. People who make more money can also save more money, building wealth over time. Things like the estate tax, which work against the intergenerational transfer of wealth, have gone down. Didn't Trump just do away with that? Isn't that in the tax plan he just passed? Trump taking care of Trump, and Trump taking care of those people who are like Trump. Look, Trump supporters don't like it, but I'm just telling you it's reality. Even as the chance of going from low income to high income has fallen. This means that the slow buildup of wealth by high earners can continue from generation to generation. Also, high earners tend to save more than the middle class, which increases the gap between the rate at which the two groups build wealth. In a nutshell, it takes money to make money. It takes money to make money, and you have to have money to invest in it. So it's the reality. And once again, I'm not blaming this all on Trump. This level of income inequality at this highest level that it's ever been in the history of since the Gilded Age, they say. Back with people fought with swords and stormed castles. That's the Gilded Age, right? That didn't start under Trump. It's already under Trump. But Trump is continuing it. Trump is continuing it. Let's look at your boy over here. Your boy, Jeff Bezos, laughing his ass off. Look at him, just having fun.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
So say good night to the bad guy.
Jeff Bezos, the 500 wealthiest people in the world, made $1 trillion in 2017. The 440 billionaires on the index who added to their fortunes in 2017 gained a combined $1.5 trillion. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos regained the title of richest person in the world in October, knocking Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates to second in adding the most wealth in the world throughout the year with a $34.2 billion gain. Bezos' net worth topped $100 billion at the end of November and currently sits at $99.6 billion. Billion dollars.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Somebody eating cornbread. Jeff Bezos eating a lot of people's cornbread. Look, it's great to have aspirations. It's great to have goals. It's also great to be informed. It's great to have a knowledge of what's actually moving things in our economy. It's also not a good thing to be living in denial. And one of the things that people tend to do, and I hate to say it, Trump supporters, is believing that you're just going to push through and take over Jeff Bezos. Look. The system is rigged, and Trump is not unrigging the system. I'm not saying he could do that on his own. I'm not saying that. Obama didn't do it. He rigged the system more. He got under there. He got under the car and pulled all the wires out. But Trump's under the car pulling the wires out too. I don't even know if you can call it rigged. It's running as it's intended to run. For them, not us. And that's the reality of it. So the only solution for that, I started it off at the top of the show when I said, we got to get them bastards out of Washington that aren't serving our interests, but serving the interests of Jeff Bezos, Wall Street, banks, big investors, Walmart, corporations. That's what I believe. That's why politics matters, because they make the rules, man. Saying you don't care about politics is like saying you don't care about the police. You can say that till they pull you over. Yep. Say it till you get pulled over. Then all of a sudden you care now, like, oh, am I going to make it home? And that's the same thing. Am I going to be able to keep my bank account? Am I going to be able to keep my job? These things matter. That's why you got to care about politics. All right, guys, let's move to the next. I got another one. Because, see, people, now this is interesting here. You know, it's been a lot of talk about the Me Too movement. You guys know these folks, right? This dovetails into the Me Too movement. This is Anthony Anderson and Tracee Ellis Ross. They star together. Tracee Ellis Ross is a co-star to Anthony Anderson in Blackish. Right? It's a show. It's a good show. I watched it a few times. I used to have more time to watch it. I don't really had that much time now. I can't remember the last time I watched Blackish, but I remember it was pretty interesting. Deion Cole is in it doing this thing. I like Deion in sitcoms. But anyway, here's the thing. Tracee Ellis Ross says, hey, I'm not getting paid, man. Can a sister get paid? She has joined the list of women in Hollywood who say they're not getting their just due. Turns out that she's being paid significantly lower than Anthony Anderson. And they're on the same show. Tracee Ellis Ross might be the next Hollywood actress to join the watershed movement for pay equality. In its story behind the way women are fighting for equal pay for equal work in Hollywood, the Hollywood Reporter revealed that Ross makes significantly less than her Blackish co-star Anthony Anderson. The actress is in the process of renegotiating her contract, by the way. So this is right on time. And it's their 5th season. And Tracee Ellis Ross won a Golden Globe as Best Supporting Actress in a comedy sitcom. So she's doing all right. It's not like she's struggling. All right? And it also goes on to say here, the actress is in the process of renegotiations for her 5th season contract and is arguing if the show can't bring her up to Anderson's pay level, she'll do less episodes to allow her to appear as a guest star on other shows to make up for the pay difference. The Blackish situation is more complicated than what happened with Michelle Williams and Mark Wahlberg for reshoots of the movie All for the Money. All the money in the world. All the Money in the World. Okay, so I reported on this before, but let me recap real quick. All the Money in the World is a movie that was going to star Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey got pulled out because of sexual allegations. They wanted him out, so they had to reshoot the movie. Now, the stars of the current movie, Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Williams, and they brought in this guy, Christopher Plummer. Now, Mark Wahlberg, his contract said no free reshoots. Michelle Williams, on the other hand, hers said nothing. So they gave her the lowest amount that they could give her for reshoots because she didn't have any stipulation to get paid for them. But it was spun all kinds of ways, made Marky Mark look horrible, made Hollywood look horrible, not that it isn't horrible, but it came down to negotiations. So I didn't feel bad at all for Michelle Williams. I just didn't, because I felt like, hey, you didn't negotiate. You didn't. If you need to ask for more, why didn't you tell them? And look, they had the same representation. They have the same agent. Mark Wahlberg and Michelle Williams had the same agent. So Tracee Ellis Ross kind of is being included in this latest thing, right? But it's still more complicated. And a lot of places where I'm reading about this, no one's mentioning that it's not just that they may value Anthony Anderson slightly more than Tracy Ellis Ross in the situation. So they're paying him a little bit more or significantly more, depending on which article you read. I've seen them say she's getting paid significantly less, and she's being paid slightly less. I don't know which it is because there's no numbers being produced to tell me what the actual difference is in pay. But here's the thing. Why aren't they saying that Anthony Anderson is an executive producer on the show? Shouldn't an executive producer get paid more than an actress? I'm just asking questions. Now, maybe it's the case that his executive pay money is separate from his acting money, and that's what she's complaining about. But I need to see that specifically because I am not seeing people truly differentiate between his executive pay money, because if you're an executive producer and he's also a voiceover narrator of the show, and the fact that he's a voiceover narrator of the show kind of means it's his show. If somebody came to the Tim Black show, it's the Tim Black show. Why should you get paid when I get paid? You're not keeping lights on. And she almost didn't even join the show because Anthony Anderson originated with the show. He was with the show from inception. She said she didn't like Anthony Anderson. She didn't want to work with him on the show. He was already attached to the show before she came on. This may have something to do with this may lead him to negotiate for a better pay. But all of it being said, I wanted to get her money. Yeah, I wanted to get her money. Why not? Why would I hate on somebody getting more money? I'm just saying, I don't know if this is the situation where you could say they're denying me money. But if you can get more money, get more money. You agree? I'm not hating on somebody getting more money. If you can get more money, get more money. All right? I'm just laying out facts for you so you know what's going on. And I want you to see what I see, which is how the game is being played. There definitely is a game here. And the levers that are being pulled and how the narrative is always being spun to give you a certain type of feeling, whether that narrative is based in reality or based on slant and spin. How hard is it to say, hey, he helped create the show what it is, helped make the show what it is. He started off the show. It's his show. He should get more. And that's got nothing to do with his equipment. But hey, we want to keep you around, Tracy. So here goes some more money. Why can't people keep it real? But here's something that I want you to know because it kind of influenced me. Check this out. Open discussion about pay is not without precedent in other high-profile industries. In the sports world, the public knows what everyone makes, from Tom Brady to middle relievers on the Yankees. Hollywood secrecy is easily explained by those it empowers, the studios, who, until now, have benefited from holding all the cards and have discouraged other parties from disclosing details of their deals. Turns out, that might run afoul of certain laws. In several states, including California, it's illegal for a company to prevent its employees from discussing their pay. During the Obama administration, the National Labor Relations Board stepped up enforcement of these pay secrecy laws, stating that anything designed to discourage employees from exercising their right to discuss their salaries is unlawful. I think this is a good thing. But Obama's not in office anymore. So now that's what's happening. But okay, Obama's not in office. I want to know what's happening, but I also want to know what's been the result of keeping pay a secret. And who's been hurt by that? Let me tell you. The intent behind all of the statutes is to rectify the fact that traditionally, Women and minorities have made less than Caucasian males because they didn't know that they could ask for more. Because it was a secret, says Wendy Lane, head of Greenberg Glusker's Labor and Employment Group. The laws apply to both direct employers, like studios, and people acting as intermediaries, like agents, talent agents. Transparency absolutely benefits women when negotiating, says ICMP Partners Jessica Lacey, a partner at the agency and head of its indie film financing division. It's paramount that we better understand how much disparity there is. Transparency is vital to ignite the spark of that conversation. Now, there's talk of the Trump administration rolling back these actions. If nobody's allowed to discuss it, how will we ever know that there are disparities? If employees can speak about it, then that can be the beginning of the process of having discussions for higher pay. All right? So all that I just said, thank you for hanging in there with me as I went through that long spiel. Basically, the biggest raise you give yourself is the one you get when you go in the door. Right? It is popcorn day. We all know this, right? Popcorn good, man. National Popcorn Day. But, yeah, the biggest raise you will get is the one that you give yourself when you negotiate your deal. So, the laws, the statutes have been set up to keep that private. I don't know what state you live in, but I think it's important for you to find out. What are the pay privacy statutes in your state? Because I think it's important. If Tracy Ellis Ross could have known going in, hey, I'm being underpaid. If you have that information, you can ask for more. True story. I've been in situations where I've made decisions to not ask because I wanted to get the job. I didn't want to push my luck. I was really looking for a job. Come on, we've been there. You really needed that job. You've been looking for months, and now you got to get this job, and you ain't really want to push it. You may push it a little. Well, what if you knew what they were paying, how much other employees at the place were making? Then you would know how far to push it. It's important for us to know. So, such is the case with Tracy Ellis Ross. If she had a problem with the amount of money she's being paid, if she could have known what they were going to be paying Anthony Anderson, because he was already attached to it, then she could have made a more informed decision. Now, I don't know if that has to do with her being a woman, right? Not knowing her power, not knowing how much they want her, to play the role. Or it just has to do with business, where people want to pay less. Why would you overpay for someone if you can get them for this? If you can hire an employee for $50,000, why would you give them $70,000? Unless you knew they could find out that they're supposed to get $70,000. It ain't about show friends, it's about show business. And that applies to all employment. That's how I see it, and I know a lot of people are talking about it. Now you're up to date on it, and definitely more than you're going to get in the sound bites on Twitter where they're having this conversation. That's all I got, guys. I think that's it. Is that it? Tracy Ellis Ross and Anthony Anderson. Yeah, that'll do it. I tell you guys, I'm very excited about this show. It's going to take a while for people to know it's here. So I would appreciate it if you share the show. Let people know what we're doing, because we talk about issues that I think need to be discussed. I try to do it in a way that I think is entertaining, light, but also passionate, because I do care about these issues. That's why I'm talking about them. And no matter what it costs me, I'm going to continue to do it because I think it's necessary. All right? So you guys have a great weekend. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, You can join me for Freedom Friday, and that's where we'll talk about issues, but we'll also open the phone lines and let people call in. You call in, be a part of the conversation, and you'll get time on the line on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook to speak your truth. Because the days of dinosaur media where people just be yelling at you, them days are over. Freedom Friday, you call up, you be a part, you be a voice, and you get your word out. If it's a story that I haven't covered that you want to talk about, the floor is yours. Remember, my email is tim@timblacktv.com. You can always email me any story idea, any suggestion. If you want to be added to my blacklist, Tim's Blacklist, where I share your information to the world. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Until then.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Don't fall for no bananas in your tailpipe, and
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
don't let nobody take your cornbread. I am out, guys. Oh, and by popular demand, maybe I need to do more video editing. I'm getting a lot of love on this.
Check this out, son. Hold up.
Why can't we pick our own colors?
No way, no way. Tried it once, it doesn't work. You get four guys all fighting over who's gonna be Mr. Black.
I got you stuck off the realness.
See, no one has balls. No one has the balls to say the real deal. Black word today.
Just y'all is the one and only. Get up.
You are born.
Hello, everybody.
Let's do this.
So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.